This is Virginia and NC State. Obviously, in this unique year, you're going to have some unique circumstances. Duh. This is the third of 4 straight road games for Virginia. They're off of a big upset at Pitt. Now they play at Clemson next week. Now, quite frankly, we have written an article and I did a podcast and whatnot about the myth of the look-ahead. Look-ahead isn't quite as bad as people think, but this is a little bit of a sandwich game because they're actually off of a potential letdown here when you have a home favorite versus an opponent off of a conference win in which they were a large underdog when they won. And NC State was, I think, 14-point underdogs last week, as I remember. Anyway, going with the home favorite under those circumstances, 122, 63, and 2. Now, Virginia's defense is actually much number than the points per games would suggest. They allow just 2.8 yards per rush. A team's normally allowing 3.7, and 5.5 yards are played to 5.8, even though defensively, when it comes to points, they've given up some. That's because they've turned the ball over too many times. That's no secret. That's clear. That's unequivocal. That's not debatable. But turnovers are correctable. If you're not stopping teams, if you're not getting yards on offense, that's less correctable. I'm not saying it's impossible to correct, but believe me, I've been doing this a long time. Turnovers are the one thing. And also there's some good fortune or bad fortune involved when it comes to turnover ratio as well. So, again, when a team is failing in one area, turnovers is usually a pretty good one because of those reasons, and that's why we love looking at yards per play, not only just the yards per play, but relative to what their opponent normally allows or normally gets, depending on what side of the ball you're talking about. As you know, we use 2 great simulators. Both simulators are agreeing with us here. One of them has Virginia covering 58% of the time, winning 37-25. The other one has Virginia covering at 61.2% of the time. And we also use some power ratings, which essentially have this game as a push. But anyway, a lot of things pointing towards Virginia. Well, I know you can't push the 7.5, but essentially they have it right around a 7.5 point game. So our free pick here is to go with Virginia once again. Virginia. If you like this information, the best way to tell us is to literally like us if you're watching it on YouTube. If you're watching on Periscope, you can give us a heart. And remember, if you're listening on iTunes, we're on everything. iTunes, Stitchers, TuneIn. If there's something that we're not, we're on Spotify. Anyway, where you can give us a 5-star rating, please do so. Where you can give us a positive review, please do so. And by the way, Joe Duffy's picks with a big portfolio for Saturday, especially decent portfolio for Friday night if you're watching this Sunday. Some NFL winners. Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. The last 33 years have been tremendous. The last 33-ish days, not so much. But the future's bright. Got to wear shades. And you want to know that one of the problems in the NFL this year, too many games have gone over, and we do have some great under systems. But I talked to both directly and secondhand, but let there be no doubt, it's been verified by infallible sources. Offshore Vegas, if you're betting in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, all the odds, they are shaded to avoid another overs bloodbath. If you don't know, if you've been gambling a long time, you probably know the public prefers to bet overs because it's a lot easier to root for a high-scoring game. And when there have been a lot of overs, the public wins, and the odds makers are shading. Most games are shaded by about 2 points. So we've got a couple over system, made some adjustments. We're not going with our our under system every time, but I think there's at least 2 cases where the games are definitely going to go under this weekend. Anyway, visit offshoreinsiders.com for all the details.